Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Your Pension Has Already Been Stolen. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word about the show. Now, let's get started. When Silicon Valley Bank shut down, did anybody out there still think or trust banks or pensions after that? They probably quickly realized that all those bank managers and federal regulators who've been telling us that our money is safe and protected, well, they were wrong. A lot of people also realized how useless bank managers and federal and FDIC regulators really were at that point, completely asleep at the wheel. Why didn't they give anyone in the public a fair warning? If they were monitoring things and they could see the numbers deteriorating and the balance sheets getting worse and worse, why didn't they warn anybody? If the Silicon Valley tech community knew that this bank was going to collapse, then why didn't they post that publicly? These guys are supposed to be out there looking out for people. Were they afraid that they and their super rich friends wouldn't be able to get their money, their millions of dollars out before everybody else tried to? That's what a lot of people think. Now, everybody knows that the banks out there are now in serious trouble. But why isn't anybody talking about the pensions? Many of them aren't even being funded anymore. And a disturbing percentage of the pensions out there are only funded to about 18% of the levels they should be funded to. What happened to all the rest of the money? Do you know that all the commercial office buildings out there being so empty and people not paying their property taxes on them anymore? Do you realize that most of the cities can now not meet their pension funding obligations because so many of those skyscrapers are not paying their property taxes? Not only are many cities not getting enough tax revenue to pay their pensions, but a lot of those cities are not collecting any tax money at all for their police and fire department services. Have you asked yourself, where have all the police and firemen gone every time you call 911? Well, let us tell you. They've either been defunded or they've quit because their cities aren't protecting them. Their cities have become hostile towards them. Next, we go on to an even bigger problem. Why is the government not doing forensic audits out there on most private pensions as of late? Have you wondered why that is? Well, a lot of people fear that it's because most of the money has already been stolen from these private pensions, and that the government doesn't want to formally confirm that with forensic audits because that would blow up in everybody's face. The belief is that if they did perform forensic audits and they learned how little of people's money was still in their pensions, then it would cause riots in the streets. You see, most people don't have much in the way of savings. They're living week to week. Instead, they're now relying on their pension statements, which claim that they have X number of dollars in them. But nobody believes those statements anymore. Most people don't believe anything on their statements. In fact, after Americans saw what happened to SVB, they now don't believe anything their banks or their pension funds say to them. They just don't. They think they're outright lies. That's because they realize that a lot of the management and regulators supposedly overseeing things are completely and totally corrupt or incompetent or perhaps just bought off and paid for and then ordered to look the other way and remain silent, or it's their jobs, or it'll be their pensions. Here's another thing to keep people up at night. The pension system in the U.S. is enormous, and there is no way to ensure the massive amount of money that should have been in those pensions but now is not. If you think that the situation with the banks and the FDIC having almost no money left to guarantee further bank collapses, then you won't believe what's going on with the pension funds. Now, what about Social Security? Well, each year the government tells us that it won't be long before the Social Security is wiped out. And now, after the SVB banking fiasco, does anyone still believe they're going to get their Social Security payments when the time comes? Why isn't anyone auditing all the struggling pensions out there to find out exactly where that money did go? And more importantly, who ordered that money to go somewhere else? Why isn't anyone investigating Who made these administrative decisions? Who signed off on these huge transfers of money or these huge failures? Where are all these supposedly great legacy media companies and reporters out there that were supposed to look into this for all the pensioners all these years to keep track of their money? Well, let me ask you some questions. Do most people still believe their pension statements when they receive them? Do you believe that Social Security will be there when you need it? Do you know that most pensions invest in stocks or mutual funds or other Wall Street nonsense, and that those investments need to provide a return of 9% just for the pensions to be able to break even on their funding requirements to stay solvent? When was the last time you saw an investment throwing off 9% on a regular basis? Has anybody seen that in a while? It's not happening. Most people will probably never receive their pensions. Most people will probably never receive their Social Security, or their payments will be reduced. For most people, the income they might receive from Social Security or from pensions would have been the only income they will receive. When that income gets cut in half or disappears entirely, then what do these people do? Will they move in with their children? Will they move in with friends or family? What would you do tomorrow if you were 66 years old and your Social Security or pension payments didn't arrive that month? Do you believe that anyone at your pension customer service number will even answer the phone when they have 50 or 100,000 people a day calling and asking where their money is, what's happened, how can they get their money? Do you think that hiring a lawyer will really help when this is happening to millions of people at the same time? How will you buy groceries that week? How will you get gas in the car when the price of gas is soon going to be headed north of $4? It's not looking good, people. Good luck. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media so that you can help spread the word about our show. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. By the way, that voice that's telling you everything's fine, my money's going to be there when I need it, you need to start distrusting that voice and doing some deep research and making some serious preparations. Bye-bye.